medieval rabbis and Chief Justice John Marshall. I connect those dots while also explaining why I, as a Jew, do eat cheeseburgers. I am Mark Stewart Greenstein. Yes, they are all connected. And I'm doing this from my kitchen, where there's cheeseburgers awaiting. And why, as a still respectful Jew, I call myself semi-devout. I mean, I do go to synagogue most Shabbats. I still respect the Sabbath and try to respect almost every commandment directly from the Torah. But thou shalt not eat a cheeseburger is not in the Torah, nor is there a 3,000-year-old equivalent. Okay, this is the closest you get, and this is where that prohibition stems from. It is, in the English translation, do not seethe a kid goat in its mother's milk. In Hebrew, lo tvashel gdi imo b'chalev. That was a practice of the ancient pagans. The Torah warns multiple times about having other gods. And this is a practice of those who had other gods that the Torah says, no, you do not do this. Today, there is no temptation to go away from the God of Jews to other gods of rocks and funny flying things. There's many temptations to not have a God at all, agreed, and some temptations to have a God of Jesus or Muhammad, still monotheistic. Zero temptation for the last at least 1,000 years to do pagan practices. Yet, from medieval rabbis who took from this phrase all kinds of rules, they made them, about kosher, okay? And the combinations of what things could be served on certain plates. The reason religious Jews now have 4 sets of plates stems from this phrase, where mixing of cheese and then later meat on the same plate is forbidden. These commands, even interpretations of these commands, should not be overwhelming us. If you want to believe in them, fine. But I don't think we should feel commanded or reprobates if we do not follow them, which for over 1,000 years don't seem to deserve to be followed. Okay? Tradition deserves respect. But long traditions that have no bases in modernity maybe should not be commanded. I have a minor respect for other laws of kashrut. I don't quite understand why God prohibits Jews from eating shellfish or products of the pig. And they're really good. So, yes, I do partake, not often, bacon, clams, once a year scallops. And when I do, out of some respect for the Torah and the interpretations that many generations of wise people have made of the Torah, I do carve off a small piece that I won't eat. It is more a respect for the solidarity of the Jewish people, which I fervently would like to continue. Now, when my practice disagrees with other practices of Jews, does it continue? Well, Jews are fragmented and have been for thousands of years, okay? 3 Jews, 5 opinions. That's kind of the norm. Yet, there's still an identity, there's still a questioning, there's still a struggle, okay? Yehuda means struggle with God. Why is this related to the Constitution of the United States? Because the respect I have for the original meaning of the Torah words is akin to the respect that I think we should have for the Constitution's words, original meaning. but not necessarily the interpretations. The interpretations from well-meaning or sometimes not so well-meaning, politically oriented men, not God. And our job as moderns should be to apply what the framers meant to modernity. I have a large argument against case law. As wise as Justice Marshall from 200 years ago might have been, you can't let one political person have standing law that directs us 200 years later. You can have a constitutional document that we have bought into and that can still be amended. That deserves our total respect as is. Because if it is mutable, then it doesn't stand for anything. And if judges are allowed to interpret, then we should allow it only for that one case. Stare decisis is not a phrase that is worth staying with, because it means that at most 9 judges, and sometimes just 1, have influence over future cases, future statutes, for political reasons. Go back to basics. Do that in religion. Do that in U.S. law. We are better off. I'm Mark Stewart Greenstein.